Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you how to use the library feature on the Q server. The library feature is great if you're trying to follow along on one of the projects we have already built and you don't want to create the application and the firmware from scratch. The library is a collection of apps, firmware, gateways, and services all in one place that you can utilize for your next project. Once you're at the homepage of your Q server, there's a couple ways that you can navigate to the library. You can either go to the library by hitting this Go button on the homepage, or you can also click the library tab on the left side of your screen. Once you're on the library, you should see several tabs that gives you a collection of apps, firmware, gateways, and services. If you don't see this, that means you're not signed onto your Quantum Cloud account. To do that, you can go ahead and go to the settings icon here, go down to cloud settings, and sign into your cloud account here. Once you have done that, just go ahead and navigate back to that library tab, and then you should see the collection of files pop up for you. So let's go ahead and go through each of the tabs we have here. Let's start from the services tab. And here you can see the list of services that we provide on the Quantum network. We have some infrared, mail services, network services, time of day services, and we also include third-party services like Twilio SMS. This allows you to send text messages through the Quantum system to a specified phone number. We do have a tutorial video on how to use the Twilio SMS service. Be sure to check it out. I'll link in the video description below. Now, as you can see here, some of these services already say installed. That's because they're downloaded and running and are in use. If you want to be able to download these, all you have to do is simply click the download button. Let's go ahead and do that for the Twilio service. And then now you'll say it's installed. Once that happens, you just go to the services tab on the left side of your screen. When you do that, you should see the Twilio service pop up in the list. As you can see, we have the time of day and network services downloaded and running. And then the Twilio one is here. And then you just have to go to actions, click start, and do the configuration process for this service. If you don't know how to configure this service, all you need to do is click that question mark right here. And then this will redirect you to our documentation page where it will show you how to do the entire setup for Twilio. Now let's go ahead and navigate back to our Q server. Go out of this. We'll go back to our library here and we'll take a look at the gateways. So here's the current list of gateways that we provide with the Quantum network. These gateways allow the Quantum system to communicate with other third-party IoT platforms such as Philips Hue, Samsung SmartThings, and IKEA Tradfree. We do update these lists periodically when we come out with new gateways or services or apps or firmware, so be sure to check those out as we come out with them. Just like the services, all you need to do is click the download button, and then once it says installed, you can go ahead and navigate to the Gateways tab on your Q server, and then you can see the Philips Hue gateway is now in the list. You just go to Actions, and then click Start, and then do the configuration process there. Let's go ahead and navigate back and take a look at the Firmware tab. So the Firmware tab is just a collection of firmware files of a lot of the projects we have built in the past. This is nice to have if you have built the hardware step by step according to our documentation, and then you just want to download the firmware, upload it to your builder bases, and that's good to go. This is a good spot too if you do purchase our DIY kits, because this will be way easier to set up for those DIY kits than having to build the firmware files by hand. So as you can see here, we have the firmware files for a lot of our previous projects that you can find on our YouTube channel. You can see your joystick, mechanism car, our HVAC control units, and all these firmware files also have the corresponding applications in the applications tab of the library, which we'll be taking a look at next. So let's go ahead and scroll back up and then go to the applications tab. Now that we're on the applications tab, it's just like the firmware one, but we provide all the applications from our previous projects that you can download as well. This is very nice, especially for our more complex projects that we have built in the past. For example, we have the security system app here. This one is quite large and very complex. So instead of following it step by step and building the apps by yourself, all you have to do is click that download button. And since this is a large app, it might take a bit to download. There you go. Once it is, you just go to the apps and you can see the security system app is now there. You can go to actions. I'll click edit and then just give it a second to load. And there you go. And then you can see this very large app here with all these interface objects and code objects and service objects and hardware objects all linked together for creating the security system. So imagine trying to do this step by step, one object at a time, all over again. Don't really want to do that. So there's your app. Let's go ahead and just navigate back to our library. And besides just having the apps for the projects we have previously built in the past, we also have demo apps for our services and gateways that are available to you all. These apps are nice to have as a baseline for when you're trying to use these gateways and services, and then you can expand on those and customize them to the needs of your project. So for example, let's say you want to use the database and persistent value service that we provide. You can go ahead and click download. And then once that's installed, then you can just go to the apps tab. You can see it here in the list. I'm just going to go to actions and click edit. And then here you go. Now it gives you a very basic application on how to use the persistent value and the database service objects here with some interface objects to control it and trigger it. And then, we have some comments here that kind of tells you what it does. But then you can expand it and add some other objects depending on what you're trying to use it for. So you can, just drag them out, connect them, so forth. And that's pretty much it on how to utilize the Quantum library for your next project. Make sure you check out those links in the video description below for more information about what we discussed. Hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.